In this brand new movie called Rampage, you might need one of those things
yeah.
just to hide from all the monsters and the creatures in this thing.
Uh-oh.
This is a video game that has come to life. It's called Rampage.
What's happening to my friend?
Are you familiar with genetic editing? Changes will be incredibly unpredictable. Increased strength,
George!
speed, agility.
No!
So this thing started as a video game a long time ago. I think maybe like 20 years ago. Oh, you love him, huh?
Yep. I'm forgetting his name right now.
Joe
The one actor.
Manganiello?
No.
No.
Not the gorilla.
I'm gonna forget his name. He was Denny on Grey's Anatomy. I can't remember his name.
That's right. He died on Grey's Anatomy,
Yes.
and it was so sad, wasn't it?
Yes. Now he's back to life. There he is.
Oh, he's a great guy. Jeffrey. Hey, so anyway, Naomi Harris is in this also. You know, she got an Academy Award nomination for Moonlight last year. And The Rock is in this, Dwayne Johnson. This thing started as a video game a long time ago. It was one of those great big video games, one of those games where you become the monster and you destroy the city. And the city in this particular movie is Chicago. And of course, this has gone to become a more complicated video game. And now it's a movie starring Rock, Dwayne Johnson, and also Naomi Harris, I was saying. And we talked a little bit about the humor of the movie. You see all the destruction, all that sort of thing, but it's also got a lot of humor.
A lot of humor.
Yeah.
A lot of laughs. I discovered
Right?
that for the first time at the premiere because that was the first time I saw it here in LA, you know. And it's so funny. It's hilarious. It's brilliant.
Well, you know, we got to balance it out.
Well, we've seen Schwarzenegger do it, we've seen Eastwood do it, we've seen a bunch of big stars do it, but you really got this thing cooking, man, right down to the very end. I mean, you get down to the last scene in the movie, which is unpredictable and great. I mean, the humor, it lands on such a happy note.
Well, that was important for us because there's extraordinary amount of damage that's being done, and we tried to evacuate the entire city of Chicago, so the life lost, the toll didn't go up, as they often can do in movies like this. So we were aware about that, and we also wanted to make sure that we had the kind of ending that people really thought in their heart that we were making a right, and we actually made a left. Without giving it away. And then when that kind of thing happens, if you nail it right, then it makes people go, oh my, I love this movie.
I didn't even know that there was actually supposed to be a different ending. And you changed it,
Yeah.
which is incredible because the ending is so perfect.
It's
And
so good.
It couldn't be any other way for me.
Yes.
It had to end on a high. It has
had
to.
to, by the way.
Yeah.
So Dwayne Johnson is the highest paid star in the world right now. Highest
Go
paid star in the
figure,
world.
man.
When his football career went bad, he was a football player, hurt his knee. He had $7 left in his pocket. So when he started his production company, became a wrestler, went on in the movies, he called it $7 Productions. So
okay.
So that's where they got the name.
I respect him even more now.
Yeah, and his partner is his ex-wife.
Okay.
And they still work together, so it's really
Cool.
wild. So he must be
didn't know
not tough
that.
enough to, well, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
I like
Still got a good bones in his body.
Speak about tough, Joe Manganiello. This is a guy, I thought you were excited about him because you know where he's from?
Pittsburgh.
He's from Pittsburgh.
I do know
That's
that.
right. So he talked a little bit about, you know, he's a big guy. He talked about the difference between being an athlete and an artist.
Well, I wasn't always an artist first. That was always who I was in my heart. You know, I was an artist that was born into a body that, you know, I was tall and athletic, and I was good at sports, and so, but in my heart, I was an artist, which is why I wound up an artist as a professional and not, say, pursuing athletics when that choice came up.
I love that idea because, I mean, you were the captain of the basketball team, the football team, every team there was, you know, you played all these sports and everything. And then you go to the theater side, and a lot of times they separate those two. Like there's the athletes and there's the theater people.
Yeah, but isn't that just what people do?
Yeah.
They try to separate you and put you in a box.
Yeah.
And I mean, anyone who's seen the ending of The Breakfast Club knows that we dispelled that back in the 80s, but somehow that's still going on. And I have a Greek mentality. You know, the Greeks, they honored athleticism, but also philosophy on the other side. And this is a job for me where I get to meld all of that, all the parts of my personality.
Okay, Joe, but let's straighten out this Pittsburgh thing, huh? Pittsburgh. I'm from Cleveland.
Okay.
So how do you describe that relationship growing up between Pittsburgh and Cleveland?
Well, growing up, Pittsburgh and Cleveland hated each other. There was a city-to-city rivalry that was then played out through the football teams.
Right.
But then Art Modell moved the team to Baltimore, and somehow that rivalry switched to Baltimore, which we didn't really have a beef with, but now we do because we hate their football team and they hate ours. So, you know, I found myself rooting for the Cavs every year in basketball. I really have no problem with the city, and if anything, I just, you know, I feel bad for the city with what happened with the football team. But I mean, I'll be interested to see who y'all get at the draft this year, because, or I should say, who Yins get at the draft this year. You get a lot of good picks.
He's bringing out the Pittsburghers. Yinzer.
Pittsburgh people are okay, huh?
They're okay, right?
Yeah, I love a couple of them now.
Pretty awesome, though. That looks like a good movie. All right, hey, up next, the must-have beauty products for spring.